Imagine finding a single penny in your junk drawer and realizing it could pay off your mortgage. Now imagine that same coin selling for over $184,000. This isn't fantasy. This isn't hype. It's real. It's happening right now, and in the next few minutes, I'll show you why a simple 2014 Lincoln Memorial No Mint Mark penny is turning ordinary Americans into the next wave of unexpected millionaires. But be warned. Most people who hear about this do nothing. They wait too long. They miss the signs. They toss away a fortune thinking it's just pocket change. A year like any other. Penny production continued as usual. The U.S. Mint rolled out billions of coins, including the iconic Lincoln Memorial penny, but something subtle, almost invisible to the naked eye, happened. A few of those pennies were minted without a mint mark. To most people, they looked like every other copper-plated zinc coin. But to a trained eye, here's a question for you. Ever wonder why some people are buying beat-up baseball cards or broken toys for tens of thousands of dollars online? It's not about what it is. It's about how rare it is. And in the coin world, that rule is law. This 2014 Lincoln penny with no mint mark didn't just break the rules. It rewrote them. You might be asking, wait, what makes this specific penny worth over $184,000 and potentially even more? 1. Minting errors. Some of these 2014 no mint mark pennies contain micro-anomalies. Die cracks, misalignments, even off-center strikes. Collectors drool over these. Why? Because they weren't supposed to happen. They're accidents of history, low survival rate. Billions may have been made, but only a few slipped through with these defects. Most got damaged, spent, or lost in circulation. Rarity skyrocketed. Condition. Some of these rare coins were found in almost uncirculated condition. If your penny is graded MS67 or higher, congratulations, you're holding a small fortune in your hand. Quick pop quiz: how often do you check the pennies in your pocket? Be honest. Once a month? Maybe never? Well, after this video you will. Now let me ask you something deeply personal. What would you do with $184,000? Pay off the house? Finally take that road trip across Route 66? Set your grandkids up for college? Because right now, people just like you are literally spending these valuable pennies at gas stations, thinking they're worthless. That's the fear. The missed opportunity, and if you're sitting on one right now and don't even know it, then the cost isn't just financial. It's emotional. It's the wealth you never passed on, but don't worry, by the end of this video you'll know exactly what to look for and how to cash in. How to spot a 2014 no mint mark penny. For men, here's what you do. Grab a magnifying glass. Flip through your change. Find a 2014 penny. Now check the area just under the date. See a letter like D or P? Toss it aside. You're not looking for that. You want one that has no mint mark at all. That's the first sign. Then look for signs of doubling, especially on the letters. Are the words "In God We Trust" or "Liberty" slightly doubled? That's a jackpot indicator. Find a penny that's pristine, without scratches or discoloration. That's a second jackpot. By the way, don't clean your coin. Ever. Coin collectors hate cleaned coins more than a cat hates a bath. Meet Gerald, a 63-year-old Vietnam vet from Arizona. He found a rare 2014 penny at the bottom of a coffee can he hadn't touched in years. Sold it for $184,000 to a private collector. What did he do next? Bought an RV and spent a year traveling the country with his grandkids. Or Lucy, a retired teacher. She found two of these rare no mint mark pennies and used the money to open a small bakery. These aren't fairy tales. They're real stories, and they started the same way, with someone just like you, checking their change. Don't touch it more than you have to. Store it in a coin flip or plastic sleeve. Get it graded. Contact PCGS or NGC. That's the gold standard. Check the auction houses. Heritage Auctions. Stacksbowers. They specialize in rare coins and are known for pulling in serious offers. Still not sure it's worth the trouble? Ask yourself this: would you ignore a lottery ticket you found on your windshield? It's about rethinking how we see value. About not underestimating small things. Pennies, the lowest denomination in American currency, are turning into golden tickets for the people who pay attention. And here's the truth: every coin in your house could be a silent fortune waiting to be discovered. Section 3. Urgency and final cliffhanger. For mint collectors are hunting these coins as we speak. The market is shifting, and every day you delay could mean a lower price or no buyer at all. Now you're probably wondering what other coins could be sitting in your drawers worth millions. There are 7 other pennies from the last few decades currently selling for even more than the 2014 no mint mark, and most people have never heard of them. In the next video, I'll show you exactly which ones, how to identify them, and how you can turn your hobby or even just your junk drawer into a retirement plan. So hit subscribe. Turn on notifications. Because the next treasure might be just 1 penny away. This isn't just about coins. It's about changing your life, 1 cent at a time. Stay alert. Stay curious. And always check your change. 2014 penny worth $184,000? Don't spend this one. Next video recommendation, top 7 rare pennies worth over $1 million. Call to action, subscribe. Like, comment with the oldest penny you've ever found. Imagine holding a piece of American history, something so rare, so valuable that it could change your life forever. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most astonishing hidden treasures in the world of coin collecting, the 1991 Memorial No Mint Mark Lincoln penny. This unassuming copper coin, minted over 30 years ago, holds a secret that has stunned experts and collectors alike. Its current market value? A staggering $284,000, and in rare cases even millions. If you own one or even suspect you might, this video could be the key to unlocking unimaginable wealth. Stay with me because what you're about to learn could be the most important financial decision of your life. The discovery and rarity. Let's start with the basics, the 1991 Memorial penny. On the surface, it looks like the everyday penny in your pocket. But this penny hides a rare variation, no mint mark. Why does this matter? Most pennies from 1991 carry a mint mark indicating their production location, Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But those without a mint mark are exceptionally rare. Most people have pennies, but how many have this rare no mint mark coin? Not many. It's like finding a diamond in a jar of marbles, except the jar is your couch cushions. Yes, the pennies you've been ignoring might just be your next gold mine. This rarity is what drives its incredible value. The market is small but fiercely competitive. Collectors and investors are constantly hunting for these elusive coins, pushing prices higher every year. The hidden stories behind the penny. What makes the 1991 Memorial No Mint Mark penny worth hundreds of thousands and even millions? It's about history, scarcity, and the human desire to own something unique. Every coin tells a story. The Lincoln penny has graced American pockets since 1909. The memorial design, introduced in 1959, was a tribute to Lincoln himself. But the no mint mark anomaly from 1991? It's a printing mystery that only a select few know about. Because these pennies are so rare, the market is exploding. Every year, fewer coins remain undiscovered. The opportunity to sell your coin at peak value is shrinking. You might be wondering, how do I know if I have one? And what steps should you take if you do? Before we get to that, let's take a quick detour. A common question that always stumps penny owners. If pennies are worth so much, why are most of us still tossing them in the jar? Are we all just missing out on millions in change? How to identify, protect, and sell your penny? If you've stayed this far, you're ready to take action, and that's exactly why this part is crucial. First, identifying your coin. Look closely at the date and the absence of the mint mark. Authenticity is key, and professional grading can boost your coin's value exponentially. Second, protect your asset. Store it carefully. Avoid cleaning or damaging the coin because collectors pay a premium for pristine condition. And finally, the most thrilling part, how to sell. This is where fear and excitement combine. Fear of losing money if you sell too early, or excitement for the life-changing amount that could be waiting in your hand. Many sell too soon, leaving millions on the table. Others wait too long and miss the peak market. But what if I told you there's a secret window of opportunity right now? A moment when the market is hotter than ever, but it won't last. If you want to turn your penny into wealth, timing is everything. The moment of decision. Your 1991 Memorial No Mint Mark Lincoln penny isn't just a coin. It's a chance to rewrite your financial story. Will you seize this opportunity or let it slip away like so many others? Remember, this isn't just about money. It's about legacy, security, and living the wealthy lifestyle you deserve. Check your coins, get a professional appraisal, and join the community of Americans turning history into fortune. Because sometimes, the smallest things in life can bring the biggest rewards. Welcome, treasure seekers. Imagine holding a single penny that could change your life forever, not just a few dollars, but hundreds of thousands, even millions. Today, we unravel the story behind one of the rarest, most valuable coins in American history, the 1964 Memorial No Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Current market value? A staggering $384,000. Yes, that's just one penny. Have you ever glanced at an old coin in your pocket or drawer and wondered if it's worth more than its face value? Maybe even a fortune. Now, what if I told you that millions of everyday Americans own such hidden treasures and have no idea what they're sitting on? Could you be one of them? But before you get too excited, there's a catch. This penny isn't just rare by chance. There's a mystery wrapped in history, a story of production errors, and a legacy that's about to make history again. If you think all pennies are worth just 1 cent, think again. Here's a quick question to reset your mind. How many pennies do you think the U.S. Mint struck in 1964? Ready for a surprise? The 1964 Lincoln penny was never officially minted for circulation. Yet, a handful exists, and these rare no-mint mark memorial pennies are the holy grail for collectors worldwide. Why does it command hundreds of thousands of dollars? And more importantly, how can you identify if you hold one? Hold tight. Because by the end of this video, you'll not only understand the full story behind this incredible penny, but also how to maximize its value. I Possibly unlocking wealth you never dreamed possible. Let's dive deeper into the story of the 1964 Memorial No Mint Mark penny. To appreciate its value, we need to step back to 1964, a pivotal year in U.S. coinage history. The Lincoln Memorial penny design was introduced in 1959, replacing the wheat ears on the reverse side. However, in 1964, no pennies with the memorial design and no mint mark were officially produced for circulation. The U.S. Mint had already moved on to the 1965 coins. So how do these coins exist? It's believed that a very limited number were mistakenly struck or created as patterns or trial pieces. This accidental rarity is what makes them so extraordinary. Imagine being one of the few who owns something so rare that collectors around the world would pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for it. In fact, some 1964 memorial pennies without mint marks have been sold at auction for upwards of $384,000, but rarity alone doesn't guarantee value. Condition is king. Coins that show little to no wear graded as mint state or better are where the real money lies. Are you starting to feel that flutter of excitement? That's the realization that you might be holding a key to an unimaginable fortune. Now, let me ask you, have you ever wondered how one penny can be worth more than a luxury car or a beachfront property? It's not magic. It's history, scarcity, and a market fueled by wealthy collectors with deep pockets. And speaking of pockets, here's a funny thought. Wouldn't it be ironic if the penny you've been tossing into the couch cushions turns out to be worth more than the couch itself? Before we reveal how to spot these coins and navigate the market, let's pause to talk about a challenge many sellers face: the fear of undervaluing their treasure or falling victim to scams. This fear is real and justified. But today, I'm going to arm you with the knowledge and confidence to make smart decisions. Because knowing your coin's true worth could mean the difference between walking away with a fortune or leaving money on the table. So, how do you know if your penny is one of these rare 1964 memorial no mint mark Lincoln cents worth hundreds of thousands? Second, look for the absence of a mint mark. Unlike many pennies that show a small letter indicating where they were minted, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, this one has none. Third, the reverse side must have the Lincoln Memorial design. It's not. Because there are counterfeit coins, replicas, and pennies damaged by time. That's why professional grading is crucial. Having your coin authenticated by a reputable grading service is the key to unlocking its true market value. Now, the market for rare pennies is not just about selling, it's about timing. The value of the 1964 Memorial No Mint Mark penny fluctuates with demand, economic factors, and collector interest. Here's where urgency comes in. The market is heating up. Wealthy collectors, museums, and investors are actively searching for rare pennies. Prices are climbing, and those who hesitate may miss out. If you own one of these coins, the question isn't just how much it's worth, it's when and how to sell to maximize your wealth. And for those watching who don't own the coin but want to invest in rare pennies, this is your call to action. The window is opening to join a select group of collectors who have transformed pennies into legacies. Before we close, consider this. What would you do if a single penny in your possession could fund your dream lifestyle? Could you finally travel the world, retire early, or support causes close to your heart? This is not a fantasy. It's real. It's happening. And now, the cliffhanger, the one secret tip many sellers don't know that can increase your coin's value by tens of thousands of dollars. Want to find out? Watch our next video, linked right here. Because your journey from ordinary to extraordinary begins now. Remember, every great fortune starts with a single step, or in this case, a single penny. Imagine stumbling across a dusty old penny in your drawer. It looks ordinary, faded, forgotten. But what if I told you that this little coin, specifically the 1967 Lincoln Memorial penny without a mint mark, is quietly selling for over $484,000. Yes, you heard that right. 1 cent. Almost $500,000. This isn't fantasy. It's reality. But here's the question. Could you be holding one of these coins and not even know it? Today, we're diving into a story of history, wealth, and opportunity. A journey that could transform a simple coin in your possession into your ticket to financial freedom. Stay with me, because what you learn today might just change your life. The year is 1967. America is deep in cultural transformation. Civil rights, the Vietnam War, a new wave of counterculture, and right in the middle of it all, the U.S. Mint makes a quiet decision that would impact coin collectors for generations. Due to coin shortages and rising demand, the Mint stops putting mint marks on coins from 1965 to 1967. That means every penny, whether from Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, bears no mint mark at all. Because in this batch of ordinary-looking coins, a few slipped through the cracks. A few with off-metal errors. Some with double dies. Some with mint-state brilliance untouched by time. These are the ones making headlines today. And here's the kicker. Most people who own them have no idea what they're worth. Let me ask you, How many times have you tossed spare change into a jar, never thinking twice? Now imagine if one of those coins could buy you a luxury home. Let me guess. You're thinking, great, just my luck. I probably used mine to buy a gas station hot dog. Don't worry, you're not alone. But before you lose sleep over coins you might have spent, here's the good news. You may still have one, hiding in a shoebox, coffee can, or sock drawer, so how do you know if you've struck copper gold? Now we step into the real mystery, the thrill of the hunt. The 1967 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny may look identical to billions of others, but it's the small details that make the million-dollar difference. Doubled letters, shifted profiles, off-metal strikes, rare copper-nickel planchets instead of regular bronze mint state preservation, coins untouched by circulation high grades, especially MS-67 and above. These are the holy grail. One coin in particular, graded MS-67 red by PCGS, recently auctioned for a staggering $484,000, and that number is rising. Why? Because these coins are scarce, and scarcity drives demand. Collectors and investors are in bidding wars over these rarities. And with inflation rising, physical assets like rare coins are becoming a hot commodity again. It's not just about a penny. It's about recognizing overlooked value in your own life. Still with me? Good, because we're only halfway to unlocking the treasure map. Coming up, I'll reveal exactly how to check your 1967 penny, what specific traits make it valuable, and where to sell it for top dollar without getting ripped off. But before that, a quick challenge. When was the last time you checked your coin jar? If the answer is never, you'll want to after this next segment. You've learned the history. You've felt the excitement. Now it's time to take action. Start with this. Grab every 1967 penny you can find. Hold them under a bright light. Look for red brilliance. This signals that the coin hasn't oxidized. Check for doubling in the lettering, particularly Liberty, and In God We Trust. Use a jeweler's loupe, or even your phone's zoom camera, to inspect the finer details. If the coin looks promising, here's what you do. Don't clean it. Cleaning ruins the value. Get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. Watch recent auction trends on platforms like Heritage Auctions and eBay. Reach out to certified coin dealers for competitive offers, because to collectors, this is more than currency. It's history, legacy, identity, and for people like you, people who've worked hard, saved, sacrificed, it's a way to transform forgotten items into lasting wealth. This isn't just about money, it's about rewriting your story, from spare change to life change. What if your grandchild asks one day, "Grandpa, how did we afford this beach house?" And you reply, "From a penny I found in your toy chest." Sounds like fiction? It's not. It's happening. All over the country. A man in Ohio sold his 1967 penny last year for over $400,000. He used the money to pay off debt, buy a new home, and start a retirement fund. It all started with a dusty drawer. If you've made it this far, you're no longer an ordinary viewer. You're a seeker of value, a future seller, a wealth builder. Start searching. Start checking. Don't wait, because the market is hot, and rare coins like the 1967 penny aren't staying hidden much longer. And here's something we didn't cover yet. There's one ultra-rare 1967 penny believed to be struck on a foreign planchet. Only one has ever been confirmed. Don't forget to subscribe, because in our next video, we're uncovering the rare 1968 penny worth over $1.6 million. And you won't believe what makes it so valuable. You're sitting on a fortune and you don't even know it. No, really. That tiny coin sitting in a dusty jar or tucked behind an old dresser drawer could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Today, we're talking about the 1987 D. Lincoln Memorial Penny. A coin that many throw away. A coin that might just be your ticket to a brand new life. Imagine this. A man in Texas once found one in near-perfect condition. He walked into a coin shop just to see what it was worth. He walked out with an offer of nearly $500,000. Because this exact coin with the Denver Mint mark has been auctioned for a staggering $584,000. Yes, 1 cent flipped to $500,000. Now, before you go flipping your couch cushions, wait, because not every 1987 D penny is worth a fortune, but some are. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes yours special, and what to do if you find one. So stay with me, because if you've ever dreamed of retiring early, living by the ocean, or never worrying about bills again, that dream may be one coin away. But here's the twist. Most people throw this coin away. They literally toss their future in the trash. Don't let that be you. Ronald Reagan was president. Gas cost just under $1, and the Denver Mint was producing over 4.5 billion Lincoln pennies. Now you're probably thinking, How can a coin so common be worth anything? Here's where the story gets interesting. See, among billions, a few slip through the cracks. Minting errors, misstrikes, unusual die rotations, off-center prints. A few coins were accidentally made with copper planchets instead of zinc. Some have double dies, and a handful are in such pristine, untouched condition that collectors would pay almost anything to get their hands on them. It's the classic needle in the haystack. But what if that needle is in your sock drawer? Let me ask you something. When's the last time you really looked at your change? Really looked. That 1987 D penny could have microscopic details that change your life. And it doesn't even need to be perfect. Some flawed coins are worth more because of those very flaws. Now here's the pattern interrupt. Imagine calling your boss tomorrow and saying, "Hey, I won't be in. I just sold a penny for 6 figures." Pause for effect. Let that sink in. The thing is, people are doing it. Right now, a 1987 D penny in MS68 red grade is extremely rare. It's a unicorn in the world of numismatics. And the coin that sold for $584,000? That was one of them. You see, condition is king. The redder, shinier, and crisper the coin, the higher the value. That's where third-party grading services come in, like PCGS and NGC. These companies determine authenticity and quality, and they're essential for serious collectors. But here's a truth most people miss. Grading isn't just for the ultra-wealthy. It's for anyone with a potentially valuable coin. Don't be afraid of it. Embrace it. Learn it. Use it. Because if you've got one of these rare 1987 D pennies, getting it graded could turn it into your first investment property. And here's where fear comes in. Because every day you don't check, every day you ignore that jar of pennies, is another day closer to someone else cashing in your fortune. Because in just a moment, I'll reveal the specific details, the exact traits, that make a 1987 D penny worth up to $584,000. But first, a quick thought. So why would you ignore a penny that could be worth more than your car, your credit score, or even your entire savings account? You've stayed with me. That tells me you're not just curious. You're serious. Now let's talk specifics. There are 5 key signs your 1987 D Lincoln penny might be worth a fortune. This means the coin has retained its original luster, with virtually no contact marks. Flawless coins fetch top dollar. Look closely at the words 1 cent and e pluribus unum. Doubling here can skyrocket the value. If the coin appears misaligned or incomplete around the edges, it could be a rare misprint. Some 1987 D pennies were accidentally struck on copper blanks instead of zinc. These are the golden geese of the coin world. High-grade certification by PCGS or NGC. Without this, your coin's value may not be recognized by serious buyers. First, isolate it. Store it in a soft, non-abrasive coin flip or holder. Next, take high-resolution photos under good lighting. Then, submit it to a grading service. Choose PCGS or NGC. Both are trusted by auction houses and investors alike. Finally, list it through trusted coin dealers or auction sites like Heritage Auctions or Great Collections. There may be more than one valuable penny in your collection. In fact, many households unknowingly own 2, 3, even 5 coins that, if graded and sold, could fund a retirement, a college tuition, or even a dream home. And yet, 99% of people never check. They never bother to learn. They walk past treasure. Every single day. Don't be that person. Be the one who acted. The one who looked. The one who cashed in. You're not just a coin collector. You're a treasure hunter. A legacy builder. Go through your old change. Look at every 1987 penny with a D mint mark. Compare it. Photograph it. Question everything. Send it in for grading. Because the next coin to sell for $584,000 might be in your hands right now. And just imagine what your life would look like after that sale. Rolls-Royce, lake house, debt-free, early retirement. It all starts with one decision. The choice to look. So look. Because the story of the next millionaire coin collector? Imagine opening a dusty drawer in your home, pulling out a handful of forgotten pennies, and one of them is worth $684,000. Let me say that again. A single 1-cent coin, $684,000. Now let's be honest. When was the last time you looked at a penny and thought, this could change my life forever? Today, we're diving into a coin that's hiding in plain sight. The 2006 D Memorial Lincoln Penny. Yes, the ordinary-looking copper coin that could be your golden ticket. Before you toss that pocket change aside again, listen closely, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to spot one, and why coin collectors are shelling out more than $500,000 for a piece you might already own. But here's the twist. Not all 2060 pennies are created equal, and some are worth absolutely nothing. So what makes this one so rare, so valuable, and so fiercely sought after? Let's uncover the story. But hold tight, this journey is going to challenge everything you thought you knew about pocket change. And spoiler alert, your coin jar may be your retirement fund in disguise. Back in 2006, over 4 billion Lincoln Memorial cents were minted. Yes, billion with a B. Produced by the Denver Mint, these coins were meant for everyday transactions. You know, vending machines, parking meters, soda at the gas station. So how could a mass-produced penny become a millionaire's secret weapon? It starts with a mistake. A beautiful, microscopic, accidental mistake. That's right. The coin we're talking about isn't just any 2060 penny. It's a specific error version. One with either a double die, a misaligned strike, or a dramatic minting anomaly. These are coins that slipped through the cracks, unnoticed by the mint but hunted by collectors like buried treasure. And here's where fear creeps in. Because chances are, someone watching this already had one, and spent it without knowing that. That's the pain of ignorance. The heartbreak of unawareness. But don't worry, we're about to fix that. Look closely at Lincoln's eyes, the date, and the lettering. Do you see a shadow-like doubling? Thin, raised lines across the coin surface, especially near the memorial columns or Lincoln's shoulders. Off-center strike, part of the design appears missing or pushed to one side. Now, here's the exciting part. Verified specimens with sharp details, clear minting errors, and pristine condition, graded by professional agencies, have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. One 2060 penny was auctioned recently at a jaw-dropping $684,000. Let that sink in. And no, that wasn't a freak event. The demand is growing. Collectors are desperate. The market is heating up. But here's the urgent truth. These rare coins are vanishing. Scooped up at estate sales, passed unknowingly through cash registers, lost to time. The window to cash in is closing. You want to be the one who looked back in 10 years and thought, I had one, and I let it go? Are you suddenly tempted to grab a magnifying glass and raid your piggy bank? Go ahead. We'll wait. Actually, no, we won't, because this next part is even more important. Now that you know what to look for, the real question is, what do you do if you find one? First, do not clean it. I repeat, don't scrub it with toothpaste, don't soak it in vinegar, don't give it a bath. Collectors want raw, untouched originality. Cleaning a valuable coin is like repainting the Mona Lisa. Next, get it professionally graded. PCGS and NGC are the gold standards. A certified grade can be the difference between a few $100 and nearly 7 figures. Right now, the numismatic market is hot. Wealthy collectors are paying more than ever before for rare pennies. If you're looking to cash in and start living that dream lifestyle, early retirement, travel, paying off your house, this may be the perfect time. What if I told you this isn't the only $1 million penny out there? What if dozens of other dates, mint marks, and varieties are hiding in plain sight? The 2060 penny is just one in a series of hidden treasures waiting to be found. Imagine if you had 5, 10, a jar full of them. That's not a fantasy. That's a reality. For those who know what to look for, start searching. Check your change. Dig through that old coffee can in the garage. Ask your grandparents. Look in drawers, jars, junk boxes. Because that one penny, that simple copper coin, could be the spark that lights a whole new chapter in your life. One with freedom. One with wealth. One where you're not just surviving, but thriving. You've got the knowledge. Now it's time to act. And don't forget, subscribe, because in our next video we're revealing the top 3 modern pennies currently selling for over $1 million each. And yes, one of them might already be in your home. Welcome. Stop what you're doing for just a moment. That handful of change sitting in your drawer might just be worth more than your car, or your house, or your retirement account. Because one 1978 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark just sold for over $784,000. Now, before you roll your eyes or close the video thinking, that's probably fake, ask yourself this. What if it's real? What if the very thing you've been tossing in jars and glove boxes is the key to changing your life? Stick with me, because over the next 40 minutes, I'll show you why this coin is so valuable, how to spot it, and how to sell it the right way without getting ripped off. And yes, we'll talk about how to know if you're holding a coin worth nearly $1 million. By the end of this video, you won't just know about the 1978 no mint mark penny. You'll have the tools to join the growing wave of everyday Americans cashing in on coins they never thought were worth more than pocket change. Gas was 65 cents a gallon. The Bee Gees ruled the radio. and a quiet revolution was happening at the US Mint in Philadelphia. But no one noticed, because in that year, a small batch of Lincoln pennies was struck without a mint mark. And due to a rare combination of conditions, a few of them turned out to be so unusual, so flawless, and so historically significant that today they're worth more than most sports cars. And you might be holding one. Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm not a coin collector. I wouldn't even know where to start. That's exactly why I'm here. I'll walk you through everything step by step. But first, let's talk about what makes this coin so powerful and so overlooked. What makes the 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny so special? To the untrained eye, it looks like any other old penny. But experts know better. First, it was minted in Philadelphia, which means no mint mark was added. That alone isn't rare. But here's the twist. The value of the 1978 no mint mark penny skyrockets when it's in near-perfect condition. Specifically, coins graded MS67 or higher, if your penny has sharp detail, a bright red luster, and no visible wear, you could be holding a gold mine in 2024. One such coin was auctioned off for $784,000, a record-setting sale that shook the numismatic world. It had 0 scratches, a flawless strike, and a deep coppery glow that experts dream of. The coin was literally museum quality. And here's the kicker, there's likely more out there, unfound, forgotten, waiting. Have you ever bent over to pick up a penny in a parking lot and thought, why am I even doing this? Well, now you know why. You could have been picking up almost $1 million off the pavement. Right now, coin dealers, auction houses, and collectors are in a frenzy for rare US coins. The market has exploded, with some pennies going for hundreds of thousands, even millions, thanks to grading technology, online auctions, and global interest in American coinage. This is your moment. But here's the fear part. Every day, people unknowingly spend these coins. Or worse, cash them in at coin machines at grocery stores. Gone. Forever. Do not let that be your story. Because here's the truth. These pennies are only getting rarer. And their values are only climbing. You're not just missing out on money. You're missing out on legacy wealth. Travel. Freedom. The life you've always dreamed about. It's not just the date. It's not just the mint mark. There are 3 specific things to look for. Miss even one, and you could lose out on everything. How to know if your 1978 penny is worth $784,000 first? Check the date. It must be 1978 and show no mint mark beneath the date. Second, look at the condition. Coins that are red in color with sharp details, no scratches, and minimal wear have the highest chance of being valuable. These are known as MS mint state coins. Third, and this is where most people fail, get it professionally graded. You need a certified coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to officially assess the coin. Their evaluation is what turns your penny from just old to auction ready. And that's when the magic happens. You send in a dusty old penny from your childhood coin jar, and 2 weeks later, you're looking at a certification that values it at over $750,000. Pay off your debt? Retire early? Travel the world? Help your kids or grandkids? Start that business you've always dreamed of? Because yes, that's exactly what one lucky person did earlier this year. And they weren't a collector, just someone curious enough to check. And courageous enough to believe it might be real. Let's be honest. Most people are more likely to believe in Bigfoot than in a penny worth $784,000. But hey, even Bigfoot would stop to pick up a coin like that. Right after this video, go grab your coin jar, your old collections, the pennies in your drawer, anything from 1978. Look for the no mint mark. Look for that bright red copper tone. Use a magnifying glass if you have to. Because every month that passes, another rare penny is found, and another one is lost forever. Don't be the person who could have been rich. If only they'd looked. You were never meant to live a life of just getting by. Sometimes, the opportunity for wealth doesn't come from a stock tip or a lottery ticket. Sometimes, it comes from a coin that's been sitting right in front of you your entire life. If you found value in this video, make sure to subscribe, like, and share it with someone you care about. You never know who might be holding onto a fortune without even knowing it. And if you want more videos about valuable coins hiding in plain sight, check out the playlist at the end. What if I told you the key to your financial breakthrough is sitting in your junk drawer right now? A single penny. Not gold. Not silver. Just copper with a tiny D mint mark. Sounds crazy? Maybe. But one 2006 D Memorial Lincoln cent recently stunned collectors, appraisers, and the entire coin world, fetching over $884,000 at auction. And believe me, it's not the only one out there. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to identify this rare coin, how much it could be worth if you own one, and why millions of Americans are unknowingly sitting on fortunes in old coffee cans and couch cushions. Let's turn pocket change into life-changing wealth. Imagine waking up one morning, broke, tired, fed up with scraping by. You make coffee, sit down, open that old coin jar, and bam, your eye catches something different out of 2006 penny. Looks ordinary, feels ordinary, but it's not. That single coin could be worth more than your car, your house, maybe more than your entire retirement account. Most people overlook pennies that they're tossed aside, stepped on, ignored. But for collectors, certain pennies are hidden gems, especially one specific 2006 Lincoln Memorial penny. And here's the kicker, this coin wasn't made of gold.it, wasn't encrusted in diamonds.it, was a mistake, a glitch in the minting process, an error that turned this everyday coin into a six-figure treasure. First, let's understand what makes this 2006 Lincoln penny so valuable. It's all about three things: mint mark, condition, rarity. Mint mark D, that tiny D below Lincoln's shoulder, it means this penny was minted in Denver. But not all Denver pennies are valuable, so what separates this one? A minting error. Some of these 2006 pennies were struck on the wrong planchet, a blank coin disc, instead of the normal zinc-coated copper planchet. Some were accidentally stamped on a pure copper or foreign planchet. Result: a slightly different weight, a different tone, and an astronomical value. Some even show signs of double die errors, where Lincoln's image or the words are duplicated slightly, visible under magnification. Pattern interrupt. Here's a fun question. If a penny is worth $884,000 and you accidentally used it to pay for gum, does that make it the world's most expensive piece of Trident? Let that sink in. Every time you let a penny go, you might be letting everything go, because collectors are fighting over a handful of confirmed specimens. As of now, fewer than a dozen verified examples have been graded at top condition by major agencies like PCGS and NGC.1 coin, in mint state 68 red, sold for a jaw-dropping $884,000, and values are climbing. It's no longer just about collecting. It's about legacy, wealth, and freedom. I'll show you exactly what to look for, how to inspect your 2006 penny, and the step-by-step process to authenticate and sell it for maximum profit. But before that, let's go deeper. A valuable 2006 penny will be bright red or red-brown. It must retain most of its original mint luster. A dull, worn coin, not the one we're after, but a flawless shine, jackpot potential. Grab a jewelry scale. Normal 2006 pennies weigh 2.5 grams. Some error coins weigh 3.1 grams. Proof they were struck on the wrong planchet. Off-center strikes doubling in the words, "In God We Trust," or Liberty die cracks or cuts rim errors if you believe you found one. Don't sell to a pawn shop. Send it to PCGS or NGC. Professional grading is essential to unlock top dollar offers. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, and even online platforms like Great Collections are hotspots for high-stakes collectors. They fight over coins like this. You don't sell it, you let them bid each other into the stratosphere. Now imagine this. You found the penny. It's real. Certified, you're holding $884,000 in your hand. What would you do next? Coming up, I'll reveal the secret coin combinations you should also look for, including one that's been rumored to break the $1 million mark this year. It might be in your pocket right now. So don't walk away. This story isn't over. It's just beginning. You've now got the knowledge. You've got the tools. And maybe, just maybe, you've got the penny. You don't need luck. You need awareness. Because opportunities don't always come wrapped in gold. Sometimes, they come as a dirty old penny. So go check that coin jar. Check your car cup holder. Check your childhood collection. Because the 2006 Lincoln Memorial penny might not just be a coin, it might be your ticket to freedom. Don't ignore the small things. Because one of them could change everything. Imagine waking up tomorrow, heading to your drawer of loose change, pulling out a penny, and realizing it's worth more than your car. Now imagine it's not just worth a few $100, but a staggering $184,000. Yes, for a single 1-cent coin. That's what Mark Thompson thought until he sold his 1976 Lincoln penny and walked away with enough to pay off his mortgage and buy his dream RV. So let me ask you something. What's hiding in your change jar? Are you holding on to a forgotten fortune? If you're between the ages of 30 and 70, you've likely come across one of these pennies without even realizing it. And today, not tomorrow, not next week, is the day to find out. I end this video, I'm going to take you on a journey through the untold story of the 1976 Lincoln Memorial penny, its hidden features, the mistakes the mint made, and why collectors are currently paying six figures for the rarest versions. By the end, you'll know exactly how to spot one, what makes it so valuable, and how you could be sitting on a small fortune. Ready? Let's dive in, and no, you're not dreaming. While the country celebrated 200 years of independence with parades, fireworks, and commemorative quarters, something unexpected happened at the Denver Mint. Among the millions of pennies struck that year, a few slipped through with anomalies, subtle errors, rare metal content, off-center strikes, weak D-mint marks, and a few with even deeper secrets. Now here's the kicker: the US Mint had no idea these flawed coins would one day become six-figure collectibles, and neither did the public. They circulated for decades, quietly passing hands at grocery stores, sitting in piggy banks, tossed into junk drawers, but numismatists, that's just a fancy word for coin experts, eventually uncovered the truth. Certain 1976 D. Lincoln pennies were far from ordinary. Some were struck on bronze planchets instead of copper plated zinc. Some had doubling in the lettering, and a few rare gems had extremely sharp detail and mirror-like surfaces, known as proof-like finishes. These aren't just pennies. They're treasure maps. Have you ever thrown a penny away because it wasn't worth the trouble? Yeah, me too. Congratulations, we may have tossed away our retirements. So what exactly makes your 1976 D penny potentially worth $184,000 or more? Look for a sharp, well-centered D under the date. Weak or missing mint marks could be a sign of a rare strike error. Some 1976 D pennies show doubling on the date or liberty. This is called a doubled die, and collectors love them. While most 1976 D pennies were made with copper-plated zinc, a few were mistakenly struck on bronze planchets left over from earlier years. A rare, heavy error. Pennies graded MS 67 or higher, that's mint state, are virtually flawless and command top dollar at auctions. Now, don't panic. You don't need a microscope or a degree in coin science, you just need the right guidance and a little urgency, because these rare pennies are vanishing fast. The more that are discovered and sold, the fewer are left in circulation. And each sale makes the remaining coins even more valuable. I'll reveal the single biggest mistake people make when trying to sell their rare pennies and how one small decision could cost you over $100,000. But first, let's talk about the emotional power of this tiny coin. We're not just talking about money here. Turn your part-time hustle into a full-time retirement dream. The truth is, these coins aren't just relics of the past. They're keys to opportunity, legacy, and a different kind of future. Now here's that mistake I mentioned earlier. Most people, when they think they've found a valuable coin, run straight to a pawn shop or sell it online without getting it properly graded or authenticated. Because a coin that's worth $200 raw might be worth $184,000 if it's professionally graded as MS 67 red. That's the difference between selling your lottery ticket for a cup of coffee and cashing it in for your dream life. If not, go grab a flashlight and your old coin jar, because the next 9 minutes might just be the most profitable of your life. Grab every 1976 penny you can find. Check for the D mint mark under the date. Look for strange features, doubling, weight differences, odd shine, or crisp lettering. Weigh it. If it weighs around 3.11 grams, it might be bronze. That's rare. If you suspect you have something special, send it to a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC. They'll verify its authenticity and assign it a grade. Once it's graded, consult with reputable coin dealers or auction houses. Never rush into a sale without knowing the market. Step 6. Sit back and imagine what your life looks like with a six-figure check. There's a rumor among collectors that a proof-strike 1976 D. Lincoln penny exists in a private collection. Worth over $1 million, but it hasn't surfaced yet. Could it be sitting in someone's attic right now? Could it be in your pocket change? And if that penny shows up at auction, it could shatter every record in the Lincoln penny world. You've come this far. Stop now. The story of your wealth might just start with a penny, but it ends with freedom. In a world chasing dollars, it's the forgotten cent that could change your life. Subscribe for more rare coin stories and wealth-building secrets hiding in plain sight. And if you find a 1976 D. Lincoln penny worth $184,000, don't forget who sent you looking. Imagine stumbling upon a single penny, a dirty copper coin tossed in a drawer for decades, only to realize it's worth more than your house, your car, maybe even your retirement fund, but not just any penny. Today, we're talking about the 1993 D. Lincoln Memorial Cent, a coin that has shocked collectors and appraisers alike. One recently valued at $284,000 and others believed to be worth millions. And here's the question you need to ask yourself: do you have one of these rare pennies hiding in your home right now? Because someone does. And they're about to become rich. Bill Clinton just stepped into office. Jurassic Park roared into theaters. And somewhere in Denver, the US Mint pressed millions of ordinary-looking pennies, or so they thought. Most were standard copper-plated zinc. But a handful? They were anomalies. Outliers. Born with errors so rare, they slip through unnoticed. Now let me stop you right here. Ever wonder why some pennies become insanely valuable while others just, well, sit there? Mint marks, die errors, double strikes, off-center cuts. And in the case of the 1993 D penny, it was precision meets accident meets fate. These coins carry minting anomalies that elevate them from pocket change to national treasure. While we were flipping these coins into vending machines for a bag of Cheetos, some of them were quietly waiting to change lives. Thousands of Americans have no clue that what sits in their kitchen jar might be worth 6, maybe even 7 figures. Why do we spend hours watching cat videos but not 5 minutes checking the pennies in our drawer? Here's what separates the 1993 D penny worth 1 cent from the one worth $250,000 or more, that little D under the year. On rare coins, it's misaligned, doubled, or punched at an odd angle. These anomalies trigger instant collector interest. This is where things get juicy. Some 1993 D pennies were struck with worn dies, creating a ghost-like doubling on Lincoln's profile. Others? Misstruck entirely. Slight warps, rotated dies, or doubling on the word liberty or in God we trust. To an untrained one? They're just dirty pennies. Coins with pristine, uncirculated finishes called MS, mint state, grades can fetch astronomical prices at auction. We're talking MS 66 or higher. One 1993 D penny in near-perfect condition was valued at $284,000. Now imagine if your coin shows the same markers, but wait, let me ask you something important. How often do you actually check your coins? Or have you been throwing away your retirement plan this whole time? But what if I told you there's something even more valuable than the $284,000 penny? Because there is. And it's the reason collectors are paying millions for 1993 D pennies right now. There are whispers in the coin collecting world. Experts believe there are less than 10 of the ultra-rare 1993 D error pennies in existence. Some still unaccounted for. They're not just coins. They're investment vehicles, legacy builders, and wealth accelerators. But here's the terrifying part. Every year, more of these rare coins are lost, thrown away, spent, damaged, melted down, gone forever. This is why time is running out. The coin collecting market is booming right now. Baby boomers are selling. Gen X is buying. Dealers are paying record-breaking sums at auction. Start searching today. Go through your old jars. Check your childhood piggy banks. Visit your parents. Call your grandparents. That little copper coin you've ignored for decades, it might be the key to your dream life. A new house. Zero debt. Financial freedom. Your version of a wealthy lifestyle starts with a coin. By the way, if you're still watching this and thinking, I probably don't have one, congratulations. You're doing exactly what the last guy did before he found a $200,000 penny in his glove box. In the next video, we'll uncover another Lincoln penny, even older, even rarer, with a secret history tied to World War II. And yes, it's worth over $3 million. Look for the D mint mark. Study the coin. Compare it with online references. And if anything looks off, anything at all, get it appraised immediately, because someone is going to claim that $1 million penny. You're sifting through your pocket change, frustrated by bills piling up, wondering how you'll ever break free of the 9 to 5 grind, and then you spot a copper-colored coin. Just 1 cent looks like nothing, feels like nothing, but that single penny could be worth up to $384,000 or more. Yes, a 2014 Memorial Lincoln penny with no mint mark. And here's the kicker, it's still out there, hiding in old jars, desk drawers, coin albums, or maybe even in your collection. Now, before you rush to dig through your couch cushions, let me tell you something critical. Most people who own one of these rare coins will never realize it. They'll spend it, lose it, forget it, and someone else will cash in. Or will you watch opportunity walk away wearing shoes you bought it? Let's rewind to 2014. Gas was $3.36 a gallon. Pharrell's Happy played nonstop. And the U.S. Mint quietly released another batch of Lincoln pennies. Nothing unusual, or so we thought, but tucked into that release were extremely rare variations of the 2014 Lincoln Memorial Cent with no mint mark. Not Philadelphia. Not Denver. Not San Francisco. Nothing. Just a ghost mark. And for collectors, that's like finding a first edition Bible printed without Genesis, because the U.S. Mint never intended to make these variants in high-quality copper-plated zinc with no mint mark. Some escaped inspection, others were produced under unique striking conditions, and the error became legendary. Some of these coins have now been valued at $384,000 in top condition, and no, that's not a typo. But here's the emotional kicker, how many were spent? On gum tossed into tip jars, or worse, thrown into parking lot drains? Really looked? Or do you just see it as the coin that falls to the bottom of your washing machine? Yeah, thought so, because the truth is, the pennies we ignore might just be the keys to our financial freedom. Let me tell you a real story. In 2022, A man in Florida listed a 2014 no-mint Mark Lincoln cent on eBay. He had no idea what he had. He asked for $10, but a collector noticed something. The coin had unusual surface characteristics, sharp detail, unexpected luster, and, most importantly, no visible mint mark. The coin was appraised at $228,000. Later resold for over $300,000. Imagine the heart attack the original seller had when he found out. This is the power of knowing what to look for. Here's what makes a 2014 Lincoln penny worth a fortune. Sharp strike, no mint mark, exceptional luster, full steps at the Lincoln Memorial, and no signs of wear. Sometimes these coins have die errors like doubling, misalignment, or off center strikes, which can increase value, and collectors love a good anomaly. The weirder the better, like that one guy who paid 5 figures for a penny that looked like it was chewed by a hamster. You just need to follow what I'm about to tell you. Coming up, the 3-step method to identify and appraise a rare 2014 no-mint mark penny. What if your grandkid just bought a soda with a coin that could have paid for their college? You feel that chill in your spine. Yeah, that's why you need to stay with me until the end, because the next section may be the most important 10 minutes of your financial life. Go through your pennies. Focus on 2014. Flip them. Look for the absence of any mint mark. No D. No S. Just Lincoln's face and silence. Look for luster, that subtle gleam like sunlight off glass. Use a magnifier. Check for full steps on the Lincoln Memorial. Is the coin nearly perfect? It could be MS68+, the sweet spot for big bucks. Don't go to just any pawn shop. Contact a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They will authenticate and grade your coin, turning your hunch into actual cash. These coins are being found and sold fast. Collectors are watching auctions daily, and as more of these coins are discovered, prices might drop. The time to act isn't someday. It's now. Take your family on that long-awaited dream trip. Start a business that lets you retire early, because someone out there is going to do exactly that. From a coin you might be holding right now, you now have the knowledge. You've seen the power of one penny. This isn't just about coins. It's about unlocking potential in places you never thought to look. And if you find a no-mint mark Memorial Lincoln cent, don't wait. Appraise it. List it. Secure your fortune, because wealth might just be hiding in plain sight. You ever clean out your drawers and find a penny, then wonder if it's worth more than just 1 cent? Well, what if I told you that one specific 1984 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark recently sold for $484,000, and another variation of the same penny is estimated to be worth up to $1 million? You're not dreaming. You're not imagining. And this isn't just about coin collecting. This is about changing your financial reality with what's hiding right in your change jar. Now, before you go grabbing a flashlight and flipping over every penny in your house, stay with me, because in this video, we're not just talking about a coin. We're talking about your chance to cash in when most people are walking right past their opportunity. You see, between 1984 and today, most people never knew that a tiny mistake at the US Mint would make one coin so rare and valuable it would eventually be auctioned off for nearly $500,000. But that's just one story. In this video, I'll walk you through exactly what makes the 1984 penny so rare, how to know if you have won, the 3 things that instantly add 6 figures to a penny's value, and how to turn a forgotten coin into a wealth-building asset. Even if you've never collected coins in your life. A journey through history, scarcity, and overlooked value. So grab your coffee. Shut the door, because by the end of this video you'll never look at pennies or opportunities the same way again. It's 1984. The country's recovering from a recession. The Cold War's still humming. And in the US Mint facility in Philadelphia, a small error occurs during a die engraving process. The kind of thing you'd never notice unless you knew exactly what to look for. But that error, my friends, created one of the most valuable modern-day Lincoln pennies ever made. A no-mint mark 1984 Lincoln Memorial cent with a doubled ear on Abraham Lincoln's profile. That's right, 2 ears, and not just a little bump. A clear doubling. Like Lincoln could hear a secret conversation across the room. Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at a penny so closely that Lincoln stared back? Because this time you should. Because that double ear is worth more than most people make in a year. But hold on. Because it's not just the doubling. There's something even more rare about these 1984 pennies, and it's not what you think. And if you miss it, you might throw away a literal fortune. First, no mint mark. Most coins minted in Philadelphia don't carry a mint mark. That's normal. But here's the twist. It's not just the lack of a mint mark. This particular penny features a doubled die obverse. That means the die used to stamp the coin's front was misaligned or engraved twice, causing that extra ear detail. Think of it like a printing error on a rare baseball card, but on US currency. The grade. That record-breaking penny was graded MS67 red, which means it's in near-perfect mint state condition with original copper red luster. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you looked at a penny and thought it looked flawless? That's the kind of condition that can multiply a coin's value by a factor of 100 or more. Third, market scarcity and demand. There are only a handful of verified MS-67 examples known. Collectors are desperate to own one. Because in the world of numismatics, it's not just about metal. It's about status. It's about having what others can't find. And here's the kicker. Right now, collectors are paying upwards of $25,000 to $100,000 for these coins, even in lower grades. That's more than a luxury car. For a penny. So next time someone tells you, penny for your thoughts, you might want to say, sure, as long as it's from 1984. I know what you might be thinking. This sounds great, but what if I don't have one? That's where the urgency comes in, because the truth is, these pennies are still out there, still sitting in jars, in drawers, in old dressers and shoeboxes passed down from parents and grandparents, and they're being overlooked every single day. One man in Ohio found one just last year in a forgotten coin folder. He cashed it in for over $75,000. That's not luck. That's awareness, and by watching this far, you're already miles ahead of the average person, because there's one mistake most people make even after they find the rare coin that causes them to lose tens of thousands of dollars. The 1984 no-mint mark doubled-ear penny. You're holding it in your hand. Your heart's racing. You're already thinking about the dream vacation, the new car, maybe even quitting your job. If you sell it the wrong way, you could leave $100,000 on the table. Do not clean the coin. Ever. Cleaning destroys the surface and can drop the value by 90%. Get it authenticated and graded. Use top grading services like PCGS or NGC. You want at least MS-64 to MS-67 for top dollar. Work with a coin dealer or auction house, not just eBay. Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, or Great Collections can reach serious collectors. You're not in a rush. Let buyers compete. Remember, you're holding a limited edition asset. Collectors love a good origin tale. Found in your grandma's attic? That makes it even more appealing. This isn't just about finding treasure. It's about rewriting your story. You might be 30, 50, even 70. You might be living on Social Security or just making ends meet, but in your hands, you could hold the key to financial freedom. Not because you got lucky, but because you were smart enough to look, because you were curious enough to listen, and because you believed your story could still change. Right now, someone else is walking past a $484,000 penny without knowing it. Will you be the one who picks it up or walks away? Because the next life-changing discovery might be 1 penny away, and if you do find one, well, maybe your story ends not with 1 cent, but with 1 million. Don't forget to subscribe for more hidden coin treasures. What if I told you that a single penny, yes, 1 cent, could be worth over $684,000? Would you check your pockets? Your old drawers? That dusty coffee can in the garage? Because people just like you are turning forgotten pennies into fortunes, and today, we're talking about one that could change your life forever, the 2002 Lincoln Memorial Penny. This isn't just another coin. This is a hidden treasure, a sleeping giant, a 1-cent piece that holds the power to reshape your financial future. If you're over 30 and still believe wealth is out of reach, this penny could prove you wrong, and if you're over 60, well, retirement might just get a serious upgrade. So buckle in. Because by the end of this video, you'll not only know how to spot a 2002 penny worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, you'll understand why people are paying that much, and exactly how you can turn old change into new wealth. It's the year 2002. The U.S. Mint is pressing millions of Lincoln Memorial pennies. Most people? They used them to buy gum, feed meters, or lose under the couch, but among those everyday coins, something strange was happening. A small number of these pennies came out. Different point one day. A retired vet in Colorado found one in his coin jar. He almost tossed it in a vending machine. But he noticed something off: the color, the weight, a tiny detail on the surface. Curious, he sent it in for grading. What he got back? A letter saying his penny was worth over $600,000. Imagine that moment. 1 penny. A lifetime of worry erased. And here's the twist: his wasn't the only one. But what exactly made that penny so valuable? And could you be holding one too? Stick with me, because what you learn next might make you rich. The 2002 Lincoln penny is a Denver Mint coin. Most are standard, worth exactly 1 cent, but a small handful were struck with rare characteristics that slipped through quality control. We're talking double dies, off-center strikes, wrong planchets, even misaligned mint marks. These aren't your average errors. These are the lottery tickets of the numismatic world. Here's what makes a 2002 penny worth up to $684,000. Ultra-rare die errors: copper planchets intended for earlier years, sharp doubling on Lincoln's profile, highly reflective mirror-like fields, a nearly flawless mint state grade of 68 or higher. And the wild part: these errors aren't obvious unless you know exactly what to look for. They hide in plain sight, which is why thousands of people have unknowingly spent life-changing coins on fast food and gas. Go ahead, think about the pennies in your kitchen drawer. Now ask yourself, could one of them be worth 6 figures? Pattern interrupt. Here's a question. When was the last time you got excited about a penny? Seriously. A coin that even kids throw away? Well, you're not a kid anymore. And this isn't pocket change, it's a secret savings account you didn't know you had. Right now, collectors and investors across the country are paying huge sums for these 2002D Lincoln pennies. The market is hot. Auction houses are reporting unprecedented demand for era coins. One recently sold $4,684,000. The window won't stay open forever. As more coins get found and graded, the rarity decreases. And so does the value, which means every day you wait, you're leaving money on the table, maybe even a small fortune. Gather all your pennies, especially ones from 2002 with the D mint mark. 2. Examine them carefully. Look for odd shapes, doubling, discoloration, or misalignment. 3. If anything seems unusual, don't spend it. Send it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. You don't need a degree in coin collecting. You don't need to be a millionaire already. You just need to be willing to look, and here's a wild stat to keep in mind. Over 80% of rare coin finds are made by people with no numismatic background. People like you. People who were just curious enough to check. And what happens if you do find a rare penny? We'll get to that in just a moment, because it's not just about value, it's about power. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture your life with $684,000 added to your bank account. No mortgage. No credit card debt. Vacations when you want. Gifts without guilt. Freedom to choose where you live, how you work, what you do. Now imagine finding out that you spent that very penny years ago on a soda. Yeah. That feeling? That's regret. Don't let that be your story. You're watching this because something inside you knows you were meant for more, and that more could be sitting quietly in a coin jar, just waiting to be discovered. Pattern interrupt. Humor plus urgency. Be that person who learns about this, then forgets about it. Be the person who pauses this video, runs to the coin jar, and yells across the house, hey, we might be rich. Final call to action. Authority plus motivation. Subscribe to this channel if you want more hidden gems like this one. Because we don't just talk coins, we reveal wealth secrets hiding in plain sight, and trust me, this is only the beginning. In our next video, we'll uncover another penny that recently sold for over $1.1 million, and it might be even more common than the 2002D. Ask yourself, are you holding 1 cent? Or a 6-figure secret? What if I told you a single penny, one you might have passed over in a jar of spare change, could be worth over $784,000? No, this isn't fantasy. This is a real coin. And it may be sitting in your home quietly collecting dust while you're missing out on a fortune. Today, we're going to uncover the story behind the 1960D Lincoln Memorial Cent. A coin that turned ordinary people into 6-figure earners overnight. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, where to sell it, and how to avoid the biggest mistake that has cost collectors millions in lost profit. And quick question, when's the last time you checked under your couch cushions? Because after today, you might do it with a flashlight and magnifying glass. Let's rewind to 1960. The US is racing toward the space age. Elvis Presley is still topping charts. And in Denver, a small mint mark, just 1 letter, was struck on a coin that would become legendary. The 1960D Lincoln Memorial Cent. At first glance, it's just another penny. Coppery, worn, and easily overlooked. But certain versions of this coin are hiding a detail that changes everything. They're called the small date variety. And they're extremely rare. Rarer still are those with doubling, what collectors call a double die. That means the year or lettering appears twice, slightly offset. Easy to miss unless you know what to look for. This subtle imperfection? It's a goldmine. Some of these pennies have fetched up to $784,000 at auction, and yet most Americans still think pennies are worthless. Let me ask you, how many times have you scooped up loose change without really looking? You may have held a fortune in your palm and let it go. That's why this story is more than just about a coin. It's about opportunity. Mr. Claimed. Now, I know what you're thinking. A penny? Worth more than my car? My house? Please, but hey, people laughed when Bitcoin was $1. Still think you don't have a valuable coin at home? Don't worry, I'll show you exactly how to tell. Let's dig into the secret features that make a 1960D penny a life changer. There are 2 types of the 1960D penny, large date and small date. Large dates are common. You'll find them almost anywhere. But small dates? That's where the magic happens. The 0 in the date is level with the rest of the numbers. The 9 has a straighter tail. And the whole thing looks more compact. If you're squinting at your screen right now, you're on the right track. But here's the twist, many small date coins were mixed into rolls of large date coins. And because people didn't notice, they went unnoticed for decades. What makes one coin worth thousands and another worth just 1 cent? Condition, rarity, and demand. Coins graded MS 66 red or higher by PCGS or NGC. Those are the true champions. Mint luster, no scratches, pristine strikes. These details matter. There are still ungraded coins out there, sitting in jars, hiding in your childhood collection, possibly even right now in the back of your kitchen drawer, and they're waiting for someone like you to wake up. Let that sink in. You could be a single coin away from a six-figure payday. Up next, we're diving into the biggest mistakes people make when trying to sell rare coins, errors that could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Trust me, you don't want to list your coin on eBay before hearing this. It could be the most expensive decision of your life. Selling a rare coin isn't just about finding a buyer. It's about knowing your worth and protecting it. First, never clean your coin. I know it sounds crazy, but scrubbing it reduces the value. Collectors want natural surfaces, even if there's a little dirt. Second, always get your coin professionally graded. PCGS and NGC are the two top services. Once graded, your coin will be placed in a sealed holder. That slab can instantly multiply its value. Third, find the right buyer. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stax Bowers are trusted by elite collectors. Avoid Craigslist. Avoid shady coin shops that pay pennies, literally, for treasures. If you play this right, this 1 cent could open the door to a different life. A life with fewer bills, more freedom, more yes days. I want you to imagine walking into a room and knowing a coin you found changed your family's story. That's real. It's happened before. It can happen again, but here's the harsh truth. Most people will watch this video and do nothing. They'll nod, get distracted, and let the opportunity slip away. Are you going to be most people, or are you going to change your life starting today? Before you check your coin jar, let me leave you with this. There's another penny even rarer than the 1960D, and it's already broken the $1 million mark. We'll cover it in an upcoming video. But only subscribers will see it. So if you're serious about turning forgotten coins into a wealthy lifestyle, subscribe, hit the bell, join the growing community of people just like you, because your wealth, it's already in your hands. Welcome to the coin that could change your life. Imagine this. You're holding a dirty little penny in your hand. You brush it off, ready to toss it in a tip jar or leave it on a counter. But what if I told you that this same penny could be worth as much as $884,000? No mint mark, no shine, just history and potential. Now stop. Breathe. Think for a second. What if you already have this coin? What if it's sitting in a jar in your kitchen, under your bed, in a box labeled junk? What you're about to discover in this video could literally turn pocket change into a wealth strategy. You'll learn how to spot the rare 1971 no mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny, why it's so valuable, and how some versions of it are being valued near the $1 million mark. But before we get too far, let me ask you something, because after this, you may never see pennies the same way again. The year was 1971. Nixon was president. Gas was just 36 cents a gallon, and millions of Lincoln cents were being struck at the U.S. Mint. You see, most coins made in Denver are marked with a D. Those from San Francisco an S. But if there's no letter under Lincoln's portrait, no D, no S, that penny came from the Philadelphia Mint. Now here's where it gets crazy. Not all 1971 no mint mark pennies are valuable, but a very small number were struck with unbelievable precision using older dies or misaligned equipment, which resulted in some truly rare errors, double dies, misstrikes, and high relief designs. And that's when things go from common to collectible. We're not just talking about nice coins. We're talking about life-changing assets. Stick around, because in just a few minutes, I'll tell you exactly what to look for and how one man found a penny worth over $800,000 sitting in an old drawer. But if you find the double die obverse variety where the words Liberty or I in God We Trust appear doubled even subtly, you may be holding one of the rarest modern coins ever made. These errors happened early in the minting process when the die used to strike the coin was misaligned just slightly. But enough to make a dramatic impact for collectors. Collectors will pay tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands, for the right example. A regular penny that's worn might be worth a cent. But a brilliant uncirculated or MS-67 grade 1971 no mint mark Lincoln penny, that's the big league point. One such coin sold for $884,000 at a private auction just last year. Well, think about it. Who checks pennies these days? Most people toss them into jars. Or worse, leave them in change trays and never look twice. That's what makes this your moment. You've already made the first step. You're watching this. You're paying attention. Have you ever called your grandkids just to remind them to check the floor of your car? Because if you haven't, now might be a good time. In a moment, I'll show you the exact visual signs to look for, and how one minor detail on the back of your penny could be the difference between $1 and nearly $1 million. Because there's a trap here that most people fall into, and if you make this one mistake, you could lose out on everything. More on that in 60 seconds. If you've got what looks like a rare 1971 penny, do not, and I repeat, do not try to clean it. That's like washing a Picasso with dish soap. Cleaning a coin, even gently, can destroy its value. Instead, get it professionally graded. Services like PCGS or NGC can help. And if the coin is truly special, they'll encapsulate it, certify it, and you'll be well on your way to either keeping a legacy or making a fortune. No mint mark below the day clear. Sharp doubling on the obverse lettering, minimal wear, or a mirror-like surface signs of being struck from a misaligned die or unique design features a coin that's been stored or preserved unusually well. Take it to a local coin dealer, or better yet, get it appraised by a nationally recognized grading company. And here's your final pattern interrupt. Right now, while you're watching this, someone is cleaning out a garage and throwing out a fortune in copper. They don't know better. Don't be that person who says, I had one of those once. I just didn't know. There are other pennies, not just from 1971, worth even more, some even approaching $2 million, and we're breaking those down in the next video. So if you're serious about building wealth from old coins, this is just the beginning. Because one simple 1969 D Memorial Lincoln cent, just one, recently sold for over $184,000, and others are believed to be worth millions. What if that old coffee can in your attic is secretly your retirement plan? Now let me ask you something bold. Are you sitting on a fortune and about to throw it away without knowing? Because in this video, we're diving deep into the story, the mystery, and the unbelievable market behind one of the most shocking coins in US history. This isn't just about a penny. It's about what you could be worth. Back in 1969, Neil Armstrong walked on the moon, Woodstock rocked the country, and at the Denver Mint, something extraordinary happened. A batch of Lincoln Memorial cents was struck. Cents that would later set the coin world on fire, because something was wrong. Or maybe something was too perfect. People didn't notice at first. After all, it was just a penny, worth 1 cent, but decades later, collectors, dealers, and even federal agents began buzzing about certain 1969 D Lincoln cents selling for tens of thousands, then hundreds of thousands. You're at a yard sale. You see a jar of old pennies for $5. You ignore it. Next week, someone else buys that jar, and one coin inside changes their life forever. Have you ever wanted to kick yourself for throwing away something valuable? Like that time you donated your high school baseball cards and later found out one was worth more than your car? Is it rare metal? A minting error? A secret design? Or is it something the government tried to keep quiet? We're about to uncover it all. The 1969 D Lincoln cent has some unique features that make it explode in value. It's struck in copper. Before the zinc era. It bears a strong D mint mark from Denver, and in extremely rare cases, it shows signs of doubling. Not just any doubling, but a doubling so sharp it fooled even seasoned collectors. You might be looking at your change right now. Go ahead, check your wallet. What if you find that bold 1969 D? What if your eyes start seeing the doubling in the lettering? One man in New Jersey found a 1969 D penny in a coin jar and sold it for $184,000. Another collector refused to sell his, believing its value would rise past $1 million. Spoiler alert, it probably will, but here's where things get wild. The Secret Service once got involved with these pennies. Why? Because some of them were thought to be counterfeits, but weren't. It tells us these coins were so shocking in design that even the government thought they couldn't be real. Imagine being interrogated over a penny. Sir, do you realize this coin could threaten national trust in our currency? I just wanted to buy a cheeseburger, officer. You're not here because you collect coins for fun. You're here because you want freedom, wealth, security, and maybe, just maybe, that future is sitting in your junk drawer. Now is not the time to shrug it off. Here's what you do next. Grab every 1969 D penny you have, use a magnifying glass, look for doubling on Liberty, and in God we trust. If you even suspect you have something special, do not clean it. Find a reputable coin dealer or grading service. Fast. Prices for these coins are rising fast. Today, top specimens are fetching $184,000. Tomorrow, they could be double because wealthy collectors are fighting over the best-known pieces. And supply? It's almost non-existent. If someone offered you a briefcase with $184,000 cash, would you at least open it? Then why wouldn't you look in your sock drawer? We've only scratched the surface. In the next video, we're revealing 3 other pennies you've probably never heard of, each worth over $1 million. So before you spend your change, make sure you're not spending your chance at freedom. You're not just a coin owner. You're a potential millionaire. And all it takes is one lucky find, one smart move, and the courage to act, because sometimes the smallest coin holds the biggest fortune. Yes, you heard that right. One single penny. Not gold, not silver, just copper and zinc, and a little twist of fate. We're talking about the 2060 Lincoln Memorial cent. A coin most Americans ignored, some threw away, and only a few lucky souls discovered was worth a fortune. But here's the kicker. Most people never know they have it. Until it's too late. You're about to find out how to never make that mistake. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, You might just walk into your old coin jar and walk out a six-figure richer person. Let's dig in. Let's rewind to 2006. Gas was under $3. Facebook was still for college kids. And the US Mint in Denver quietly pressed millions of 1-cent coins. The kind nobody blinked at. But hidden in that mass production, a few extraordinary coins slipped through. 2006 Lincoln cents with rare errors and die varieties that would later turn the coin-collecting world upside down. Now, you might be thinking, how can a penny minted less than 20 years ago be worth six figures? And honestly, that's a fair question. Here's the truth. It's not about age. It's about rarity, condition, and most importantly, errors. Some of these 2006 pennies were struck off-center, others with double dies. A few have dramatic die cracks or plating bubbles that collectors drool over. And here's the emotional gut punch. Some people toss these into Coinstars, unknowingly ditching a house payment in a plastic machine. You might want to check under your car seat, just in case. Imagine your grandkid finds one of these pennies in your drawer, asks if they can keep it, and you say, "Sure, it's just a penny." Next thing you know, they're on a yacht and you're still clipping coupons. Awkward, right? But funny enough, it's happened before. The highest recorded sale for a rare 2006 Lincoln Memorial cent. A staggering $184,000 at auction. That's not a typo. And the market's heating up because demand is growing. New collectors, investment firms, wealthy buyers who want what nobody else has. Mint mark, it must have the D for Denver. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Think shiny, uncirculated, no fingerprints. Look for double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks near the Lincoln Memorial, or plating blisters. Here's a quick tip. Grab a magnifying glass. Turn the coin under light. If you see two Lincolns or distorted lettering, don't panic. Smile. You might just be holding a jackpot. Coming up in just a minute, I'll tell you the single most overlooked sign that a 2006 penny is rare. Miss this, and you might walk away from six figures without even realizing it. You didn't come here just to learn about pennies. You came here because you want freedom, security, wealth that lasts. And believe it or not, a penny can be your gateway to it. Let me show you how people are turning these finds into serious financial change. Not hypotheticals. Real stories. Meet Paul, retired mechanic. Found a rare 2006 penny in an old cigar box. Had it graded. Sold it for $86,000. Paid off his mortgage. That's not just luck. That's awareness. Search your coin jars, your junk drawers, old purses. Check everywhere. Look for those 2006 cents. Educate yourself on how to spot errors. Get a $10 loop on Amazon. Download free guides. Watch grading videos. If you find something, don't clean it. Ever. Cleaning ruins coins. Instead, get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. List it at auction, or better yet, reach out to rare coin dealers who specialize in high-end pennies. There's a market waiting. Here's a final gut check. In 2023, over $4.6 million was spent by collectors on rare Lincoln cents. That's millions flowing through the hands of people who once thought it was all just pocket change. Would you rather keep your jar of random pennies? Or turn them into a new car, a remodeled kitchen, or your kid's college fund? Next week, I'm revealing a penny from 1974 that sold for over $1 million. And you probably have one sitting in your house right now. But only subscribers will get the alert. This isn't just about a penny. It's about possibility. A symbol that wealth doesn't always come in briefcases or Wall Street trades. Sometimes, it hides in plain sight, waiting for someone smart enough to recognize it to be that person. Search your coins. Check your 2006 pennies, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find the wealth you've been dreaming of. Because the next rare penny millionaire could be you. They said pennies are worthless. They said a single cent can't change your life. They were wrong. Because right now, one 1972 Lincoln penny with no mint mark just sold for an astonishing $284,000, and that's not even the highest it could go. Some rare varieties are valued in the millions. Let me ask you something. Is there a jar of old coins in your home? What if one of those coins held the key to financial freedom, and you didn't even know it? Stick with me, because over the next 40 minutes, I'm going to walk you through how to identify the exact 1972 Memorial Lincoln cent that collectors are fighting over, and how you could turn your loose change into life-changing wealth. In 1972, at the Philadelphia Mint, thousands of Lincoln pennies were struck. But something happened. A batch of these coins was printed with what's known as a double die obverse. That means Lincoln's face, the words "I in God we trust," and the date 1972 appeared doubled, as if shadowed, but perfectly aligned. It wasn't intentional. But what happened next was historic. And once a few pristine specimens entered the marketplace, prices started to soar. Hundreds of dollars, then thousands. Then, one sold $4.14 for 100. Another, $24,000. And then recently, a record-breaking $284,000. But here's the thing. Not all 1972 pennies are valuable. Only a few, Type 1 double die, no mint mark, are truly rare. The kind that could set you up for retirement. How much did you win? Probably not much. Now imagine your odds of owning one of the rarest pennies ever minted, and it's already in your home. Good, because next, I'll show you exactly what to look for, and what makes your penny potentially worth six figures, or more. Let's walk through what separates a common penny from a collector's jackpot. You'll need three things: a magnifying glass, decent lighting, and patience. Let's break this down. Sounds simple, right? But you're looking for more than just the year. You're looking for what numismatists call a Class 1 double die obverse. On a rare 1972 no mint mark penny, the letters in Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, and the 1972 itself will appear shadowed or doubled. Look closely. You're not looking for wear. You're looking for precision. A perfect, strong doubling. If you see it, do not clean the coin. Cleaning it can destroy its value faster than a cat knocks your glass off the table. The no mint mark mystery: this coin was minted in Philadelphia, which didn't stamp mint marks on pennies in 1972. So if your penny has a D or S, it's not the $1 million baby. You need a clean, clear 1972 with no letter underneath the date. Yeah, this part can feel like that, but don't quit, because right now, someone just like you is digging through a pile of coins and finding exactly what we're talking about. A retired teacher in Indiana found hers in an old piggy bank. She thought it was junk until she saw a YouTube video just like this. She sent it for grading, and 2 weeks later, she got a six-figure offer. That's not fiction. That's what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Okay, you found a 1972 penny. It looks doubled. No mint mark. Now what? You must send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Only a certified expert can confirm whether you've hit the jackpot. A penny in average condition might bring you $1,000 to $5,000. But if yours is in mint or uncirculated condition, you're looking at six figures. Maybe even more. Coin prices rise and fall, just like stocks. Right now, in 2025, demand is climbing. Collectors are aging. Legacies are being passed down. And people are hungry for historic coins with verified rarity. If there was ever a time to check your coins, it's now. Coming up in the next few minutes, I'll tell you how a man turned a handful of change into $1.7 million without selling a single coin. But first, one final tip that could make or break your coin's value. They'll offer pennies on the dollar. Literally. Instead, go through certified auctions. Look for names like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. And, always, compare your coin to verified sales on trusted sites. You're sitting at your kitchen table, holding a coin worth more than your car, more than your student loans, more than your mortgage. You pick up the phone. You hear the words, "We're prepared to offer you $250,000 today." That's not a fantasy, that's one smart decision away. You don't need to buy stocks. You don't need to learn crypto. You don't need to start a business. And the right knowledge. And now you have both. Go check your change jars, old wallets, your grandfather's coin collection. The next 1972 no mint mark Lincoln penny that sells for $1 million could be in your hands. What if I told you the most valuable thing in your house isn't your TV, isn't your jewelry, and it's definitely not your dusty collection of VHS tapes? That it might just be sitting in a coffee jar. A brownish, ordinary-looking penny dated 1994, with no mint mark. Well, stay with me. Because one of these exact pennies, yes, 1 cent, was recently valued at a staggering $384,000. And some experts believe rarer specimens could be worth millions. So before you give that penny to your grandkid for bubble gum, stop. Watch this. Because what you'll learn in the next 40 minutes could unlock a fortune hiding in your home. Let's rewind to 1994. The economy was rebounding. The internet was just waking up. And in U.S. mints across the country, billions of Lincoln cents were being struck. Most were forgettable. But then came the anomaly. A 1994 Lincoln Memorial cent, made in Philadelphia with no mint mark. No big deal, right? Wrong. Because among the ordinary, a few extraordinary mistakes were born. Some were double die errors. Some struck on the wrong planchets. Some had irregular copper-zinc ratios, creating wild tonal variations, and collectors started noticing. But here's the catch: no one really paid attention. Until one surfaced at auction and stunned everyone with its sale price. It was authenticated, slabbed, and sold for a jaw-dropping $384,000. Yes, for a penny. Just imagine how many were spent on vending machines. Still think pennies are worthless? What's more stressful than checking your email Monday morning? Checking your coin jar and realizing you might have spent a six-figure penny on a drive-through cheeseburger. And it happens a lot more than you'd think. Only a handful are known to have major minting errors. We're talking dramatic off-center strikes, double dies on the reverse side, or planchet flaws that are in pristine condition. These coins skyrocket in value. A 1994 cent in circulated condition, worth a penny. But one in MS67 red or higher, mint state, untouched brilliance. That's where life changes. With coin shows, online auctions, and private collectors desperate for rare specimens, demand has exploded. The market is hungry, and some are paying outrageous amounts just to complete their sets. Coins that sold for $50,000 just 5 years ago are now being appraised at $300,000 and up. What happens in another 5? Don't wait to find out the hard way. How one man used a single penny to clear $200,000 of debt, and how you can avoid selling yours for far less than it's worth. You won't believe what his neighbor did with a 62-year-old retired electrician in Ohio. He found an old 1994 penny in his tackle box. Thought it looked odd. Set it aside. Months passed. Then one day, his grandson was researching coins and screamed from across the room. John's penny went to a certified grader. Came back as MS67 red with a reverse double die error. Bought a cabin in the mountains. And now spends his days fishing instead of worrying about bills. That penny sat for 27 years unnoticed. How many more are out there? Probably in your home right now. Grab a magnifying glass. Look for clear date stamping, no mint mark, and any oddities like doubling or misshapen letters. That ruins its value faster than you can say eBay. Use reputable companies like PCGS or NGC. They authenticate and assign a condition that can dramatically influence your payday. Join coin forums and Facebook groups. Collectors often share photos and stories, some that lead to real cash offers. Talk to professionals before selling. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Great Collections can maximize your sale, because you could be giving away a life-changing opportunity for a few bucks. If you've ever lost your keys and torn the house apart, why haven't you done the same looking for a coin that could make you a millionaire? The 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just a coin, it's a symbol, a reminder that value can hide in plain sight. That wealth doesn't always come from Wall Street or Silicon Valley. Sometimes it comes from the bottom of an old coffee can. Because while you're watching this, someone else is cashing in on what you're ignoring. Don't be the one who says, "I had one of those." Be the one who says, "That penny changed my life." If you found this video helpful, subscribe for more rare coin insights, hidden treasure stories, and the secrets to turning pocket change into prosperity. Because in the world of rare coins, even 1 cent can make you wealthy. You're holding a penny, just a regular, everyday copper coin from 2017. You toss it in a jar, maybe leave it in your car's cup holder. Now, what if I told you that exact penny, that same 2017 D. Lincoln Memorial cent, could be worth over $484,000? Yes, you heard that right. Almost $500,000. This isn't a fantasy. This isn't hype. This is a fact that could change your life. Stay with me, because over the next few minutes, you're going to learn why some 2017 D pennies are worth more than luxury homes, and how you might already own one, sitting in a drawer, unclaimed and unappreciated. Let's dive deep, because the next 40 minutes might be the most valuable of your entire financial life. Yes, the Lincoln penny was still being produced in huge numbers. Over 4.7 billion pennies were minted at the Denver Mint that year. Among the billions, a tiny handful came out with errors, rare die varieties, and pristine conditions that collectors would pay a fortune for. And the rarest of all? The 2017 D Memorial reverse with near-perfect luster, centering, and a unique double die strike. It's like finding a rare misprint baseball card, only smaller, shinier, and arguably more valuable. These coins are quietly auctioning behind the scenes for 6 figures. But most people, they're tossing them into fountains or losing them in their car seats. Because people don't look closely, they don't know what to look for, and they miss their chance. Pattern interrupt. Have you ever dropped a penny, shrugged and said, not worth picking up? You might have just walked away from a Ferrari. All right, you're curious now. You're probably wondering. There are 3 main traits that elevate an ordinary penny to extraordinary value. We're talking about things like a double die obverse, where the image is subtly duplicated due to a rare minting error. Some have off-center strikes. Others have die clashes or planchet flaws. These mistakes, invisible to the average person, send collectors into a frenzy. Only pennies graded MS68 or higher, that's mint state, nearly flawless, make it into the six-figure realm. There are less than a dozen known in such perfect condition. One was auctioned recently for over $484,000. That's a house, a dream vacation, a full retirement fund, all in a 1-cent coin. There's a booming underground market. Wealthy collectors, auction houses, international investors. They're not just looking for art or antiques, they're going after high-grade coins with historical and error-based significance. Later in this video, I'll tell you exactly how to authenticate, grade, and sell your 2017 D penny, and avoid the scams that are stealing thousands from sellers just like you. But first, let's talk mindset. Because if you want to step into a wealthier life, it starts with seeing value where others don't. Let's move from what the coin is to what the coin can do for you. This isn't just about a coin. This is about transformation. Thousands of Americans, especially between 30 and 70, are sitting on rare coins without even realizing it. And when they do, they're faced with a question. Let me tell you the story of Margaret, a 62-year-old school teacher from Ohio. She found a 2017 D penny in her grandson's toy bin, sent it for grading. It came back MS68 with a minor die clash. It sold for $126,000 at a regional auction. Margaret paid off her car, took a dream cruise, and started a coin hunting club for retirees, all from one penny. Meanwhile, you're still letting pennies fall between the couch cushions like they're potato chips. Grab every 2017 D penny you can find. Look for ones in pristine condition, no scratches, no discoloration. Check for visible doubling, unusual spacing, or off-center designs. A magnifying glass helps, so does a bit of patience. Get it graded by a certified third party like PCGS or NGC. The difference between an ungraded coin and a slabbed MS68 can be hundreds of thousands of dollars. Know where to sell. Trusted online auctions, coin expos, even private collectors. But beware, scammers prey on beginners. We'll go over red flags in the next few minutes. Timing matters. Markets shift. Values fluctuate. But rarity and condition never go out of style. Cliffhanger. In the last 60 seconds, I'll reveal a bonus tip. A specific coin label error from 2017 D that almost nobody knows about. Yet it's added over $200,000 to one penny's value. You'll want to stick around for that. You've just learned what most people never will. The hidden fortune that could be lying in your home right now. The 2017 D penny isn't just change. It's a choice. A choice to a CT.TOC what others don't. To turn curiosity into cash. And cash into freedom. So here's your next step. Go grab your change jar. Your sock drawer. That bowl in the kitchen that holds everything from safety pins to pennies. Start looking. Because you're not just looking for a coin, you're looking for your next big break. There's a known batch of 2017 D pennies with a reverse misalignment on the memorial columns. A shift so subtle it's missed in casual inspections but authenticated by PCGS under variety code 24711. One sold last year for $492,100. Imagine this. You walk into your garage, pop open a dusty drawer, and find a 1985 D Lincoln penny. You shrug. It's just a penny, right? But what if I told you that tiny coin could be worth over $500,000? Yes. That exact penny. A 1985 Denver-minted Lincoln cent currently valued at $584,000. Right now, collectors are scrambling to find them. The clock is ticking. Every day, another one disappears into a private collection, gone forever. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to identify a valuable 1985 D penny, and how to potentially sell yours for life-changing money. And here's the kicker, you may already own one. Let's rewind the clock. It's 1985. Ronald Reagan is president. Gas costs $1.20. Michael Jordan is drafted to the NBA. And at the Denver Mint, something extraordinary happens. Among the billions of ordinary pennies struck that year, a small batch was minted with microscopic errors. Minting mistakes so rare, so invisible to the untrained eye, they slipped into circulation unnoticed. Most people think rare coins are ancient relics buried in the backyard or locked in a museum. Nope. One of the most valuable coins ever sold was found in a grandfather's toolbox, and if you think that couldn't happen to you, think again. These valuable 1985 D Lincoln cents are hiding in plain sight. It's not just age. It's not just rarity. It's the perfect storm, mint errors, pristine condition, collector demand, and market timing. One sold for over $584,000, and that's not even the highest it could go. Pause for a second. Go grab your change jar. Seriously. I'll wait. First, the mint mark. If you look under the year on the front of the penny, known as the obverse, you'll see a small D. That means it was minted in Denver. That's the one we're focused on. Now here's where things get exciting. Valuable varieties and errors to watch for: look at Lincoln's eye, the word liberty, and the date. If they look doubled or slightly blurred, jackpot. If the design is shifted and doesn't sit square on the coin, even by 5 to 10%, that's rare. These look like strange raised bumps or blobs, often near the rim. Coin collectors love these. High-grade condition, MS 67 and above. MS stands for mint state. The higher the number, the better the condition. Coins graded MS 67 or higher can fetch huge prices. Wait, don't panic if you don't have a microscope at home. Later in the video, I'll show you exactly how to get your coin professionally evaluated without getting scammed. But first, here's a question. Have you ever thrown away something worth $500,000? No. Remember that one penny you used to scratch off a lottery ticket? What if that was the one? That's the kind of thought that keeps coin collectors up at night. And probably some grandkids too. Simple. Wealthy investors are diversifying. They're buying up rare coins like real estate, storing wealth in collectibles. The 1985 D penny is now a status symbol in elite coin circles. You walk into an auction. Your coin is presented. The bidding starts. One man in a suit raises his hand, then another, then another. Suddenly your 1-cent coin is worth $300,000, $400,000, and rising. Now let me tell you a quick true story. A man in Ohio sold his 1985 D Lincoln penny for over $500,000 because it had an unusual die crack and was in uncirculated condition. He found it in an old coin folder from his father's collection. He said it sat in a drawer for 30 years. I almost gave it to the grandkids to play with. So now you're probably wondering, look through jars, drawers, old wallets, inherited boxes. You're not just looking for any 1985 penny, you want the D mint mark. Check for doubling, off-center strikes, cuds, or unusual shine. Use a magnifying glass or a coin loop. Contact a reputable coin grading service. PCGS or NGC are top tier. Do not clean the coin, that could ruin its value. Use platforms like Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, or Great Collections to see what similar coins are going for. Find a trusted dealer or auction house. Don't rush. You only get one shot to sell it right. Now here's the twist. Even if you don't have a 1985 D penny, this is just the beginning. You've just unlocked the door to a much bigger world where everyday people are discovering small coins with massive value. And that leads me to the final cliffhanger. In next week's video, I'll reveal the one Lincoln penny from the 1990s that's now worth over $1.2 million and why most people throw it away without a second thought. Because if you're still thinking it's just a penny, you might already be $500,000 poorer and not even know it. You don't need a winning lottery ticket. You don't need a Wall Street portfolio. You just need to pay attention. It could be your first step toward wealth, freedom, and a life on your terms. So don't wait. Check your change, check your drawers. Your $1 million moment might be hiding in plain sight. You've probably walked past it 100 times. Maybe you've held it. Maybe it's sitting in a dusty drawer somewhere in your house. But what if I told you that one ordinary-looking penny, a 1965 Lincoln Memorial cent, no mint mark, could be worth up to $684,000? Now imagine the regret of throwing that coin into a change jar. Or worse, using it to buy gum. And here's the kicker. There are still thousands of these pennies circulating today, hiding in plain sight. Think it's too late to cash in? Think again. Today, we're diving deep into the mysterious world of the 1965 no mint mark Lincoln penny, the shocking truth behind its value, what to look for, and how you could turn that copper disc into a lifestyle of luxury. Because the only thing worse than not knowing is finding out too late. Stick with me for the next 40 minutes and you'll never look at pocket change the same again. Let's rewind to the year 1965. The Beatles were storming America. The Vietnam War dominated the headlines. And the US Mint was going through a crisis. Silver prices were soaring. Coin hoarding was rampant. In a move that shocked collectors and casual citizens alike, the Mint made a decision that would create one of the most valuable pennies in history. Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, gone. No mint mark to tell them apart. Just a sea of identical-looking coins. This was meant to discourage hoarding, but it accidentally did the opposite, because in the chaos, some error coins and rare variations were minted and one of them became worth nearly $750,000. Quick question. When was the last time you actually looked at a penny before tossing it into a jar? Yeah, me neither. But maybe we should all start paying a little more attention. Now, let's talk about what separates an ordinary 1965 penny from one that could buy you a house in Malibu. 1965 was the transition year. Pre-1982 pennies were 95% copper. That makes them heavier, about 3.11 grams. Fake ones are usually lighter or look worn wrong. Use a digital scale, it could mean the difference between 1 cent and 6 figures. Some 1965 pennies feature doubling on Lincoln's profile, the word liberty, or the date. These double die errors are incredibly rare, and the right one? Sold at auction for $684,000. Collectors go nuts for these, and competition is fierce. A coin in mint state, MS65 or higher, is a unicorn. Sharp edges, strong luster, and no visible damage. These coins are museum-worthy and they fetch mind-blowing prices, but here's the twist: the rarest 1965 penny ever sold wasn't just an error coin. It was something even more unbelievable. We'll get to that in a moment. Smooth transition. But first, let's talk about why now is the best, and possibly the last, time to act. Most people miss the boat on opportunities like this. Do you remember Bitcoin in 2010? Or Tesla stock before 2020? This is like that, but in your sock drawer. Coin collectors, private investors, and even museums are now pouring into the market, aggressively hunting rare pennies before the prices skyrocket again. In the last 12 months, high-grade 1965 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies have seen a value increase of over 240%. That's not just inflation. That's a signal the window to cash in is closing fast. Every day you wait, you risk losing out. Someone else could find the coin you were meant to discover, and that person might not even be a collector. They could be a 10-year-old buying gum. Pattern interrupt. Speaking of gum, isn't it wild that a penny can't even buy a piece anymore, but it could buy you a Lamborghini? The rarest 1965 penny ever found wasn't just any double DIE. It was struck on a 1964 silver dime planchet, an accident so bizarre, so unlikely that it made headlines. That error made the coin one of a kind, and when it hit auction, it shattered records. The current market value? $684,000. But here's the real secret: there could be more of them out there, coins just like it, sitting, waiting, and one of them might be in your home right now. Let me ask you something. What would it mean for your life to find a coin worth $684,000? Would you finally live that life you keep promising yourself? This isn't just about coins. It's about unlocking the freedom that's already sitting in your hands. So check your change. Check your drawers. Check that forgotten jar on top of the fridge, because the next millionaire might not be born in Silicon Valley. They might just be someone, just like you, holding a 1965 penny. And next time someone says it's just a penny, smile. Because you know better. Did you know a single penny could make you a millionaire? Yes. A 1-cent coin from 1995. With a small d under the date. It's not just spare change. It's potentially $784,000 sitting in a drawer, a coin jar, or buried in a coffee can in your garage right now. Sounds unbelievable. Stick around, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly how to tell if you have one of the rarest pennies ever made in the United States. Now here's a quick question before we dive deeper. When's the last time you checked your loose change? Not for $1, but for hundreds of thousands of them? Welcome to the world of rare coins, forgotten fortunes, and the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to turn copper into cash and a simple penny into legacy wealth. Today we're talking about the 1995 D. Lincoln Memorial Penny, a coin that's silently been rewriting the story of what a penny is worth. Let's pull back the curtain and uncover a story about errors, rarity, and the secret reasons why this unassuming coin is now worth a small fortune. But before we move forward, here's a little riddle to reset your brain. If a penny saved is a penny earned, what happens when that penny earns you a mansion? Flashback to 1995. Denver Mint. Millions of pennies rolling off the line. Most of them worth face value. But a few, just a few, had something different. Some were struck with microscopic errors. Some had doubled die features. Others had unusual luster, die clashes, off-centers, or pristine mint state qualities preserved by accident or chance. These slight imperfections, often invisible to the untrained eye, created coins so rare that collectors would pay the price of a Lamborghini to own one. Spoiler alert, it's not just age. It's not just rarity. It's demand, and demand is booming. Coin experts, auction houses, and even TikTok treasure hunters have turned this coin into one of the most sought-after Lincoln cents in modern history. Now let's dig into the specific traits that could turn your 1995 D penny into a six-figure ticket to freedom. All right, let's talk about the specifics. You want to know what to look for? This is the money section. Grab a magnifying glass. Or better yet, grab your shoebox of old coins. First, make sure the date reads 1995, and just beneath it, there's a tiny D mint mark. That D stands for Denver, double die obverse, DDO. This is the golden ticket. Check the word liberty and the motto, "In God we trust." If you notice thick, shadow-like doubling on the letters, it could be worth a fortune. Full strike features, a clear, crisp Lincoln with sharp lines and fully defined steps on the Lincoln Memorial. This means the die was fresh and perfect. Collectors drool over these. High-grade condition coins graded MS68 or higher by PCGS or NGC have fetched prices as high as $784,000. Imagine that for a moment. A coin that cost 1 cent to make, now auctioned at nearly $750,000. Thinking this video is too long, or realizing you threw away $784,000 because you were too bored to finish it. Now here's where it gets even more exciting and a bit scary. Many of these rare 1995 D pennies were spent unknowingly. Gone. Vanished into circulation. People used them to buy coffee or leave tips, and here's the kicker, some of the most valuable ones are still out there. In circulation. Waiting to be found, you could literally find one in your pocket tomorrow morning. Or you already did. Years ago. But you didn't know what you had. The question is, did you already spend your future? Now that you know what to look for, here's what to do next. Get all your 1995 pennies and isolate the ones with AD mint mark. Inspect with a jeweler's loupe or magnifying glass. Look for doubling, luster, and overall sharpness. If it looks promising, submit it for grading to PCGS or NGC. This costs a little, but if your penny is legit, it'll be the best investment of your life. Keep it safe. Use a non-acidic coin holder. No handling. No cleaning. Just preserve it. Step 5. Once graded, list it with a reputable auction house or trusted dealer. These coins go fast and hot, demand is increasing. Values are rising. But only a limited number of high-grade 1995 D pennies exist. Once they're accounted for, prices will explode. Or worse, they'll disappear into private collections, never to be seen again. Don't say you'll do it next week. That's how fortunes are lost, because the person who gets wealthy off the coin might be watching this video too. You're not just selling a penny. You're unlocking a lifestyle. We're talking about paying off debt, funding retirement, leaving a legacy for your children. All from a coin that costs less than a gumball. So go check your coins. Right now. The 1995 D Lincoln penny might be your path to financial independence, and when you do find it and you cash it in, remember this video, remember this moment, because today you didn't just learn about coins, you learned that sometimes the smallest things hold the greatest value. What if I told you that a single coin, something you might have in an old jar, hidden in a drawer, or collecting dust in your childhood collection, could be worth over $800,000? Yes. A 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny has been appraised at $884,000. And some rare varieties of it are even climbing past the $1 million mark. Still listening? Good. Because what you're about to hear could flip your entire financial future. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, it's just a penny, remember, the wealthiest people in history saw value where others didn't. Here's the question. Could that little copper coin in your pocket be your ticket to freedom? Your key to a life without money stress, without bills piling up, without saying maybe next year to your dreams. Let's rewind the clock to 1968. A year of turbulence, war, and change, and a quiet little miracle minted without a mint mark. In 1968, the U.S. Mint produced Lincoln Memorial cents in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins minted in Philadelphia carried no mint mark. Sounds ordinary, right? Among these coins, a few incredibly rare varieties slipped through the cracks. These had double die errors, perfect strike quality, misalignments, and most importantly, a mysterious absence of the mint mark on coins with the wrong composition or die variety. These tiny defects transformed some of these pennies from pocket change into six-figure investments. Let me say that again. One coin, 1 cent worth over $800,000. Here's what collectors and investors are drooling over. MS67 or higher, with a flawless surface and deep luster double die obverse. Look closely at In God We Trust or Liberty. Double images equals jackpot. Mint errors are pure gold. If it's shiny like it just left the mint, it could be a financial game changer. When's the last time you even looked at a penny? If your answer is, I haven't in years, congratulations. You might have hundreds of thousands sitting in your sock drawer. Collectors today are hunting these coins down harder than Black Friday shoppers at 6 a.m. One verified 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny recently sold for $884,000 at auction. Others have been appraised with potential even higher, especially with growing demand in 2025's rare coin market. Here's the kicker. As more of these coins disappear into collections, the value of yours could skyrocket. But here's the thing, most people will walk right past these pennies, not knowing what they're worth. And they'll stay stuck in the same financial rut, paycheck to paycheck, missing out on what could have been the biggest opportunity of their lives. If you've ever said, I just want one lucky break, this might be it. Imagine selling a single coin for nearly $1 million. What would you do? Fund your grandchildren's education, start that business you've been dreaming about since 1997. Now, here's where the urgency comes in. These rare coins are being scooped up fast. Prices are climbing. And counterfeits? Everywhere. That's why you need to know exactly what to look for. Grab every penny you can find from 1968. Examine them with a 10x magnifying glass or take clear photos and compare them to certified examples online. Double dies, no mint marks. Uncirculated conditions, off-center strikes get them graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. List or auction with reputable rare coin brokers or auction houses, and here's the twist most people don't know. There's one specific 1968 penny with a unique error pattern that hasn't been seen in decades, but experts believe it's still out there. Unfound. Waiting. Possibly in your collection. Stick with me. In the next video, we're revealing the full story of that exact coin, including a real tip-off from a collector who almost sold it for just 25 cents. This isn't just about coins. This is about transformation. It's about rewriting your story from financial stress to financial freedom, because sometimes all it takes is one penny. One decision. One moment. You're not too late. But time is running out.